Hello everybody and welcome back to Brickstruck. Today I'm going to be taking a look at an older set from LEGO Agents. This is the Dr. Inferno's Robo Attack. And the main reason why I'm reviewing this set in particular is because I feel like it's the perfect antithesis to the same Hulkbuster-esque robot mechs we've been getting from LEGO lately. So I wanted to remind you guys that not all mechs are bad. And maybe remind people that, yes, they can look unique. So let's get right into it. So first off, I want to get into the minifigures. Now, you have 2 agents and you have 3 civilians. And I feel like we don't get LEGO City civilians anymore. You know, I feel like every time we get like just a regular guy in modern LEGO City, it's just... they always have a purpose. These guys look like they could just be anything. This guy's obviously a tourist in the middle there. But these guys, they look like they could just be like 20-somethings out in the middle of the city. And this guy has a really nice shirt. This guy looks like he's in a rock band in his local college or something. He looks like he's just really just... you know, they all have alternate faces. This guy has a terrified face. And... the way his beard looks is funny. We do get one female civilian in the set. She has an alternate face. And, yeah, they have that little weird blue thing to represent a, what do you call it, an hourglass figure. But this one, I'm not sure why the blue. But, you know, maybe it's because it was set during the day. And this one, the next one I call the Tourist. He has a camera, obviously. He's the only one with an accessory, but he has... my friend says he looks like Kamata Yoshi from Ninja Turtles, but I think she means the newer incarnation. This guy is the funniest one. I just look like... so, you know, but... now let's take a look at the agents. You get 2 LEGO agents with this. I don't know what organization specifically they work for, but, you know, this is Trace. Trace has no female anatomy, I guess? Is that what you'd call it? No female printing on her. So that torso piece could be used for anything else. She does have a back face, and, yeah, you know, you can do the scared face, you can do the confident face, if you so choose to put that in, depending on what situation you want it in. And what's interesting is that her male counterpart doesn't have a scared face like every other figure in the set. Well, except for one. We'll get to him when we get to him. He just has a serious face. This is Agent Chase, and I feel like the name Agent Chase is familiar. I feel like that was like a Disney live-action show. I don't know if I'm wrong, or... somebody tell me in the comments. The name Agent Chase has definitely been used before, but let's get that torso off him. And as you can see, he just has the same standard agent's torso. So nothing too special there, but you know, it's covered up by a vest anyway, so that makes him a little bit more special. So let's get on to the side builds. So the first side build I'm going to take a look at is this ATV-like vehicle. It comes with a hook right over here. So I guess you could Empire Strikes Back this robot here, and it's a neat little thing. You know, it's you know, one thing I'll talk a lot about in the set is how much they give you for so little pieces. There's a lot of piece counts here that really make towards a simplistic but still very engaging build. And this is you know, there's a lot of value in this set. Something I've talked about, or will talk about in the future, depending on the upload schedule I decide for this. But yeah, it's a very nice side build, but it just doesn't, you know, it is very much a throw-in kind of thing. But they still managed to work a lot of play value into it, so I'll give it a pass. My favorite side build of the set is this nice little propeller jet right here. It uses so little pieces, but it really gets the job across in making an interesting little snub fighter to go up against the robot. And it is nice and swooshable, but it's just very compact. You know, I can see a lot of fun here being posed with this. And yeah, it does have two flick fire missiles. I don't want to lose them, but you get the point here. You can fire them at the robot, and I put trace in there. Inside doesn't have any detailing; it just has that little joystick over there, so you can just put that in. In the back, you'll notice you can't really see it. Let me just pop her out of that, but yeah, there is a little bit of backspace, and they do have these two little realistic-looking guns, but. Yeah, you can put them in the background if you want. You can put them in the back of there, or I don't know if you can fit another figure. Let's see if we can. And as it turns out, we cannot. So let's get to the real showstopper of this set. And really, why I wanted to review this is the Mech. This thing is an absolute beast, and I love its retro cheesy style. I don't really know if you'd call it cheesy. It's more like a throwback. It has that great 50s aesthetic of just, a machine. It feels very machine-like, too. It's supposed to. It's a machine, but I'll stop saying that right now. But so let's start with the legs, I feel. They do have a decent range of motion. They are articulated, and you can sway, so you can pose those feet any way you want. I love those little symbols down here. More symbols on this little mechanical detailing. I love these round panel parts. They add so much to this set. The building experience of this wasn't as fun as it could have been. You ever get those sets where they're like halfway assembled? Like the seller didn't manage to just, take it apart. So that's what I had to deal with. So a lot of it was just winging it. But the semblance is a lot of fun still. It's just the way I got it was frustrating. But yes, these can bend backwards, forwards. And yeah. The crotch piece has this interesting little gauge above a grill. So maybe there's steam coming out of there. I don't know. But yeah, this robot does have a lot of articulation. And that's very impressive for the time it was made. And, yeah, you can just get into all these cool little poses, and it kicks a lot of ass. So one thing I did discover is that this does separate. And I will get to that in a minute. Just hold on, and voila. Yeah, this whole piece over here, this comes off, so you can just make it just leave it there. And these pieces down here, these detailing, are supposed to signify they can hover. And it kind of reminds me of the Yokians. Is that what they were called? From Jimmy Neutron. So let's get a little bit of detailing over here. This claw piece is really nice. These slightly metallic pieces, and the detailing on here is great. It feels like there could be like a few more of those connector pieces, those cylindrical connector pieces, but it gets the whole claw aspect done really well, and that can just pop right off like so. And you have this bionicle or Technic piece over here. And the detailing, again, I just want to clarify how much it brings this model to life. These almost sort of furnace aesthetic. The stickering work here is nice too, but around here is really nice. Just this. These do have a tendency to pop off though, so that's a mild criticism of that. But let's go over to the other arm, and this is it has a flame cannon here, and it says flambe grill toast. Yeah, this is awesome. They use these really nice slope pieces just to make it feel smooth, although it is lacking in some, but it was limited by the part count that they had back then. And pretty much every Lego set is limited by the parts that they have. So, and yeah, it does light up still. I always love. This is my first ever light brick, actually, or first in a memorably amount of long time. To activate that, you just got to press on this little axle piece right here, and like that. And yeah, this is a really nice flame weapon. It adds just a a lot of playability to the set. So it's a very nice, very, very nice little build here. Just put that back on. And now I guess we got to go to the top. So very unique dome piece. I don't know how many other sets it came in. And here we have Dr. Inferno. Now, I left him out up until this point. But I just want to show you. First of all, I just want to say how clear this still is. I was very lucky to find it in an unscratched position. Again, I love these little switches here. But this just pops right out. There's nothing keeping it in. Again, like this printed detail, these little tiles forming a gauge or command center. And there's really nothing in there. You know, it holds its way in fine. But, yeah, this is a really, just a nice mech. Big, powerful, you know, and articulated. And it looks different from the other mechs. If you were able to put this next to another mech. Let me just go grab one real quick. This is another Life on Mars set, which I've just reviewed. I don't know which review will be up first, but you can see they're both very different. And if you know anything about Exoforce, you'll know that the Exoforce sets, which were about at the same time, I believe, they're very different. Even the early Ninjago mechs were very different, and most of the Ninjago mechs are different than the Marvel mechs. Forgot to show you, there's a little gauge panel in the background over there. But yeah, so let's get to Dr. Inferno, and then we'll be able to wrap this whole set up. The last side build here is Dr. Inferno's little whirly glider over here. And it just fits perfectly into the robot. There's nothing that actually connects it. It just plops right in. You know, and it has this little thing. And it looks like something out of the Jetsons. I feel like it'd be making those sound effects, you know? There is a little control panel here, and is that supposed to be depicting... I'm not sure what that's supposed to be depicting. I think it might be depicting the foot stepping on a... Oh, that's the plane! I'm an idiot. Wow. But, yeah, so... Yeah, this is what Dr. Inferno is working with. He just has this little escape vessel where he can fly and say, "Curse you, Patty the Platypus!" Or, "Curse you, Agent Chase." I'm like that. You know what I'm saying. But let's get him out of that little scooter over there, and let's look at him. He's the only Agent's villain with this background, I believe. I don't know, but he has that robot arm, which I believe was a new element at the time. You know, if you're familiar with these, you'll know what I'm talking about. He has that mad doctor aesthetic. It looks like he's wearing a doctor's uniform, but there's also elements of a straitjacket in there, which I like. Orange, red, and black, or no, orange, white, and black. They go together really well, especially with his hair and that little weird Zuko scar he's got running across his face. That hair is a soft element, by the way. It's not the regular hard plastic, which is a bit disappointing, I guess. But you know. He's a really cool minifigure. I was lucky to get him in such decent condition. He's not super expensive, but, you know, he runs his own price. But, yeah, so let's get this into some poses, and I'll be on the final verdict. And this is why I did this channel. Look at this, man. Is this just not everything? For those who want to know what these elements are, this is the brand store, which I've customized a little bit. I've made it fully modular. I'll leave a link in the description on how to do that. But man, look at this. Yeah, this is why we do this, man. But yeah, so final verdict is that this is a very solid set. I would completely recommend this to you if you're a big fan of that golden era period between 2009 to 2012. This is just peak Lego, man. Like this whole robot is just peak Lego, and the reason why I reviewed it is because I feel like this set is the perfect template for future Lego mechs. They've gotten so big on the Hulkbuster formula when there are tons of unique and different robot designs that they could go for. This is a chief example of what can work within the Lego system. And there are tons more, including all of Exoforce. So, you know, I just wanted to remind and refresh. And I feel like this is just the perfect template for a Lego superhero set, period. I mean, you have the civilian elements right there. You have the superhero vehicle right here and back there. And you have the bad guy vehicle. There can be a lot of value with play at it. You don't need to always have the same reused and recycled robot over and over again. We've got enough of those, so, you know. But if you're looking for an agent set, I feel like this is the best example of one. You know, it's definitely styled after Robbie the Robot, if you know who that is. One of the first one of the first big motion picture robots ever. My mom, she observed that when she was looking at the new space. She said it reminded her of Buzz Lightyear a little bit. So, you know, there is also that Constructabuzz that was going on around that time. So, yeah, it does bear a little bit of resemblance to that in terms of the dome. But this by itself is just such an awesome, awesome robot. Like, you just can't help but not love it. You know, it's just, I mean, sure, it'll feel, you know, retro to some, but I love it, man. And it goes for pretty cheap on Bricklink and eBay. So, you know, if you're willing to pay $60 for an awesome retro Lego set, that ain't a bad option. This is a really good, really classic. They just don't make them like this anymore. That's what I'm looking for. They don't make them like this anymore. So, I hope you guys are happy with this review. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys can remember and hope. Which hope is a lot of hope is based off remembering how things used to be. So I don't know, but I hope you guys enjoyed remembering how awesome Lego Agents was with me, and I hope you guys are ready for the future with this new channel. So I like, share, and subscribe, and remember, your world, your rules.